We're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship, zooming through the sky.
What's up, guys? My name's Daniel. Feel free to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. It's completely free, it costs you nothing. If you feel like donating, there's a way to do that down in the description. I love to have my back scratched. I like giving free information, but it also feels good to have a little bit returned to me as well. So, I also have a Facebook page if you guys want to check that out, or you have questions, or you just want to join, post your bike, whatever, talk about things. That link is also in the description. I have my PayPal link in there if you want to send a donation to buy me a cup of coffee, whatever. It also helps support the channel. So without further ado, let's get started. Hopefully I get to help you guys out today. Let's get going. All right, guys, let's put this thing back together. Pretty sure I've gotten the majority of the rust out of the tank that is flaking. So from this point moving forward, what we're going to end up having to do is run ethanol-free fuel to keep the moisture content down, because now that this tank is rusting, there's really not much you can do about it other than changing your fuel type. So that's what we're going to do. And if I remember correctly, I believe that goes in like that. This is where things get interesting. This is where things get interesting. There we go. That went in a lot easier now. There's not a whole bunch of rust holding it in there. Let's get this sensor reconnected here before I plug this back in. Oops, got that upside down. There we go. There we go. Plugs in like that. That goes down on there like so. Okay, let's put this bike back together. Fun for everyone. So there's no little particles or flake rust just floating around at this point, which is exactly what I want. The worst part is, though, is there'll still be enough to maybe do a little cloggage in the future. So hopefully I got the majority of it out. It's really hard to get flake rust out of a tank, to be clear about that. Before I go any further with this, I want to put a towel down so I don't scratch the tank. Pretty common for Florida bikes when you buy them for people to let them sit, and then they don't tell you that they sit, and then pretty soon you're stuck with a bike that has all sorts of fuel problems from somebody letting the bike sit. It sucks, man. You just wish there were more honest people, you know? Check these real quick. There we go. Don't want to over tighten them. Perfect. Okay, got a good seal. Now the fun of putting the entire thing back together and snapping all the plastics back on. This is the exciting part here. Oh gosh. This is such a big job to remove the tank on this bike. It's kind of ridiculous that they made it this difficult. It really is. It's very frustrating. And they would suggest that you take all the plastics off to do it, which I did it without taking the plastics off, and it was still a huge job. So I'm actually glad I didn't commit to removing all of the plastics. It'll probably make putting it back together a little bit more difficult, but we got this. Let's go. Alright, first thing to do, we got to connect those two lines on this side of the tank here before we can go any further. So let me find both the lines here. The one with the braided stuff on it right here, this one goes on the front, right there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it goes on the front one. Right there. And then this one goes right here on the back. Make sure those are on there real good. Okay. And now the fun part is getting all this back up underneath these plastics comfortably without wrecking things or creating more work for yourself. So just take it slow. Pick the plastics up as you go. There we go. Slowly feed things back into place like that. Excellent. All right. So tank is back into place now. And what we're going to do is I'm going to reconnect the fuel sending unit back here and the main plug, and really all you have to do is just plug them back in real fast. So it's really simple. Plug and then push the fuel line on until you hear a click or a snap and you're good to go. I'll try to do this with you guys real quick. Man, it took so many tools to do this job. I got tools everywhere. Everywhere. There are just tools everywhere right now. Alright, let me reconnect these lines real quick. We'll do this guy first. We'll do the powering of the fuel pump first. I think I can connect it with one hand. If not, I'll get my little holder. Okay, this thing is back together. And that means it's time to put some fuel in it. I don't have it very centered up there, but it should be good enough to pop some fuel in. So, here we go. Give it a little bit of fuel to work with. I'm not going to pour it all in just yet. And there is a mixture of WD-40 in there with it. We didn't want the tank to flash rust, if you remember. That should be enough. Start it up. Prime it a few times. This will also give me an opportunity to check our FI light. And I don't want to put the rest of that fuel in there because I want to go get new fuel because I'm pretty sure some of that has flake rust in it. So I just wanted to put a little bit back in there, just enough to check our work and see what happens. So let me pick you guys up here. Let's see if our FI light is gone now. Remember, I have not disconnected the battery, so let's see what it does this time. Check it out. FI light is gone. It's telling me I'm low on fuel. I'm going to prime it a few more times. It says it's ready to go. It doesn't need to prime. That's the lowest this bike's been able to run without fuel. Sounds good. Sounds good. Gonna let it run for a minute. Make sure I don't see anything dripping down from the bike. Sorry, I keep getting you guys caught on my tripod. I don't see fuel leaking down. Everything seems to be connected well. There's not much fuel in it. I would say that's a big difference. So it knows it's low on fuel. That's the first time this bike's seen it that low. And before it wouldn't run if it got past right to the middle. Anytime it would get to the middle, before it would go down, it wouldn't run. But clearly, that made a huge difference. Sounds really healthy. Both fuel injectors sound like they're working just fine. So fuel smells good. Actually, it smells better than it did. Okay, well, I think that solved our problem. I'm going to go ahead and slap this bike back together on camera. I hope this helped you guys. I'm just going to kind of speed up the process because this is just a lot of plastics and panel putting back on stuff. So I don't really think it's worth it, but yeah. So there you go. I hope that helps you guys out. And I get to start the long process of put her back together now. That's what we're going to do. It's running good. Okay, all back together. I gotta wipe the tank off now. It's still kind of dirty, but everything's pieced back together and tight. It's running all right. It's exactly what we wanted. So now I'm gonna run it down and go fill it up with ethanol-free fuel. Okay guys, it barely has any fuel in it. Like, I don't even know if I put enough in there to get to the gas station, but if I didn't, it's okay. We'll walk the bike there. The objective right now is to see if running it low on fuel fixed our problem. And after cleaning everything, I think I have a good idea. I'm not really going to give this thing much time to warm up. Obvious reasons. I'm almost out of gas. So it's telling me, hey man, go get some gas. So that's what we're going to do. I put 11 miles on it. After I filled up, put 11 miles on it trying to get it home, which was a nightmare, to be honest. And I really hope my phone doesn't fly out. Okay, should be good. Yeah, I'm not going to give it much warm-up time, like I said, because ideally, what was happening was, as it got below the halfway point, it would like run out of fuel. You'd hit the brakes at a stoplight and it would just stall. And then it would restart, and then every time you'd hit the brakes to slow down, it's like the gas would go to the front of the tank and it would just stall. So, let's see if we've solved that now. Just gonna slowly troll out of the neighborhood here. Sounds good. We'll just take it real slow in first gear. Give it a little chance to warm up here. Don't want to be hammering down on it just yet. Feels really smooth. And I have a new chain coming, and I'm putting all new brake pads on the bike so that it's got a full maintenance log across the board. All right, so now we're blinking. It's letting me know it's very low on fuel. So let's go ahead and get this thing to the gas station. Just taking it easy right now. It's got plenty of power. If I pull back, it goes no problem. So I know the fuel pump and everything is working right now how it should. Okay, we're taking the back roads there. Like I said, I'm just going to be kind of pushing my luck here as to whether we're going to actually make it to the gas station or not. I'm going to be pulling out in second gear takeoffs. A little harder on the bike, but I get faster takeoff. It's running really smooth right now. Obviously, I'm hitting the brakes and the bike isn't stalling. So clearly, even with the small amount of gas that I have in there, it's able to do its job properly after I clean the tank and stuff. Huge plus. That is a big plus. So I can see I've got somebody behind me that wants me to go faster. Okay, buddy, I'll go faster. Come on. Let's run the fuel out. Now look, you wanted me to go faster, now you're not even staying on me. Let's go. I'm going almost 40 in a 25. Yeah, okay. Oh, I want to go fast. People on these streets are ridiculous. Now let's see if it stalls. Hit the brakes hard. No stalling. Huge plus. That is a big plus. Definitely a big plus. Alright, there's Wawa. I've got plenty of power. It did just stall once, but that was after I hit the brakes hard and went to take off. So it does. This is weird. Suzuki, this is a really bad fuel pump design. If the tank, if there's not a ton of fuel in it and it sloshes to the front, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I don't have enough fuel pressure, and it just cuts off and stalls the bike. Look, I'm hitting the brakes now. It's staying running, but if I was to really crack on, but look, see how the idle just shot down? Not ideal. That's interesting. I mean, granted, I have barely any fuel in the bike, but still, that's very interesting that they would poorly design it that bad. So right now, when I'm driving forward, all the fuel is going to the back of the tank, which is exactly what you want. All right, let's see which one's ethanol free. Ethanol free. Where are you, ethanol free? We're looking for the blue pump handle. Here it is. I think this is it. Yeah, ethanol free gas. There you go. It's neutral out here. So yeah, wow, what a poor design. That's a really bad flaw. That's unfortunate, because I just went to give it the beans and take off, and it totally just like cut out on me. So that was not an ideal scenario, honestly. Well, I hope that might be solvable some other way. I hope, anyways. All right, let's put some gas in it. Let's do this here. Okay. Oh, that's weird. It's got its own fill point. Okay, here we go. Ethanol free. Let's see what it takes to fill up the bike right now that it's pretty much almost empty. Yeah, what a piss poor design, Suzuki. That's really sad. I don't mind putting $4.19 gas in it. It's only taking 4 gallons. All right, there's 2 gallons. You were right here. And there we go. That is considered full. That is considered full. Yeah, so I only had half a gallon in there to get me here. So 1/2 gallon of regular, or 93, and then almost 4 gallons. So it cost 14 bucks just now to fill this up. And I'll get 280 miles out of that tank now, hopefully. Hopefully that's the case. So there we go. All right, now I gotta go get some oil for my generator, because I'm changing the oil in the generator. So it did stall once, but that's, like I said, I have half a gallon, which means when I hit the brakes, all the fuel is going to the front of the tank, which then completely leaves the fuel pump system dry. So as soon as it doesn't detect pressure, it seems to just shut off. That's a really piss poor design. I'm actually going to see if I can rewire that. So look, you got an ant on my bike. Get off. But yeah, that's a really piss poor design. That auto shut off like that, that's not safe, because I just went to pull out in traffic and just stalled right there. It was just like, nope, I'm good. So that's really sad, honestly. Really sad. All right, well, let's go get some oil.